Good evening, Warcry fanatics, and welcome back to the Miniature Stash. We got a psychedelic adventure tonight between the Gloomspite Gitz and the Stormcast Eternals. So sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. Tonight's battle plan is from the core book. And it's called The Comet. Roll a dice at the start of the second battle round before the hero phase. On a 1 to 4, place one objective on the battlefield floor at the center of the corresponding table quarter, as shown on the map below. On a 5-6, place one objective on the battlefield floor at the center of the battlefield. The battle ends after 3 battle rounds. When the battle ends, the player that controls the objective wins the battle. Round 1 Hero Phase. The Gloomspite Gitz roll 2 initiative dice and 2 doubles for their abilities. They will elect not to use their magic dice this round. Next up, we have the Stormcast Eternals, and they roll 4 singles for their initiatives and a pair of 1s for a double. They also elect not to use their magic dice this round. First up, we have a Sequitor for the Stormcast Eternals, placing themselves in the center of the board so they can strike for the Comet in the second round. First up tonight for the Gloomspite Gitz is a netter moving to the center of the board, hoping to catch some prey later on. Following the netter, the Sequitor Prime moves into the center of the board. We got our first abilities activation tonight with the Castigator as they use Rush to get towards the center of the board, and then they unleash their first attack and deals 4 damage into the netter. The Squig Hopper, seeing the power behind the Castigator's crossbow, rushes over and ties him up for the next round. And the Moonclan boss moves into the center of the board. The remaining Gloomspite Gitz members are all going to start activating now, as there's no more Stormcast Eternals. Using Rush, the Shoota Gloomspite Gitz hides behind the green mushrooms and takes a shot at the Sequitor, dealing 1 damage. We have another Shoota using Rush to get into prime position to shoot at the Sequitor, but his shot goes wide and misses. The last Shoota of the round moves into position to take a shot at the Sequitor. Oh, and it's a crit, dealing 3 damage. Round 2 Hero Phase. The Gloomspite Gitz roll 3 initiative dice and a triple for their abilities. They're going to elect to use one of their magic dice and turn their 5 into another double. Next up, we have the Stormcast Eternals, and they roll 3 singles for their initiative and a triple for their abilities. They will elect to use 1 magic dice and turn their triple into a quad. New to the battlefield, the Evocator Prime is going to move across the board and make his way to the netter. He's going to use his bonus attack action and deal 6 damage. Looking to distance himself from the Evocator Prime, the netter uses a disengage, then a move action to make its way towards the Comet. At the end of its movement action, it uses its ability Barbed Net and captures the Sequitor Prime for the round. The Castigator is going to disengage from the Squig Hopper and take a shot at the netter and deals 6 damage, and the netter's dead. Next up, we have a Shoota moving in and takes a shot at the Sequitor again and deals 1 damage. The Evocator is going to move over to the group of shooters and try to tie them up as best as possible. Seeing the Evocator moving across the board, the Moonclan boss positions himself between the Evocator and the Comet. Trying to be the first to take possession of the Comet, the Sequitor jumps from mushroom to mushroom across the board. But the quick Squig Hopper takes advantage of the situation and uses boing, boing, boing and deals 6 more damage to the Sequitor. He then uses his next activation to attack and gets 2 crits and deals 10 damage, and the Sequitor is dead. Next up is the Sequitor Prime, but he's stuck under the net for the rest of the round still. The remaining Gloomspite Gitz are going to activate and move around the board to take positions. The Loonboss is going to make an attack on the Castigator, but is rejected. Next, we have some Pokin Spears moving in on the Castigator. The first one's going to attack and deals 3 damage to the Castigator. And the second Pokin Spear moves in, but is too weak to deal any damage to the Castigator. The remaining 2 Shootas for the Gloomspite Gitz are going to move across the board to ensure their clansmen can take over the Comet in Round 3. Round 3, Hero Phase. The Gloomspite Gitz roll 4 initiative dice and a pair of 5s for the double. They're going to elect to use one of their magic dice to turn the 6 into another double, and use the remaining magic dice to ensure they have 4 singles for their initiative. Stormcast roll 3 singles for their initiative and a triple for their ability. They're going to elect to use 1 magic dice to turn the triple into a quad and the single 6 into a double. Up first in round 3 for the Gloomspite Gitz is a netter. It's going to use the ability Barbed Net and captures the Sequitor Prime once again. And then going to use a move action to move towards the Comet and attack the Castigator, and deals 3 damage. The Evocator Prime, needing to get towards the objective, uses Rampage and makes a triple move towards the Loonboss. At the end of the move, he makes his bonus attacks and deals 2 damage to the Loonboss. Jumping out from beneath the mushroom, a Gloomspite Gitz netter rushes up towards the Comet and takes control of the objective for the first time in the game. Needing to move towards the meteor, this Castigator desperately needs to kill this netter on its first attack. Oh, he only deals 1 damage, folks. He has to attack again and deals 4, and the netter is dead, ending its activation. With only 1 Stormcast Eternal left to activate for the game, this brave Shoota takes on the Evocator by himself, and only deals 2 damage. With no opportunities left for the Stormcast to take control of the Comet, the Evocator turns its attention to the small Shoota at its heels and destroys it in 2 attacks. With the last Stormcast activation, the remaining Gloomspite Gitz are going to swarm the remaining and send them back to Sigmar's Forge. Hopefully, after the reforging, Jerry takes a lesson to heart and stays away from the mushrooms. If you enjoyed tonight's Battle Report, like and comment below, and hit the subscribe button for more Warcry content all here on the Miniature Staff.